How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
As a general life philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish.
Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. I am Preston Johnson here in the Bets TV studios in Southern California. It is Monday. It is a good day. Unless you're Qwan Young, my co-host, producer, hanging out over there on the side. Rough weekend for Qwan. First thing he tells me when I come into the studio today is I might not be very energetic on camera today. Look, he told me Friday before we parted ways for the weekend, you said my wisdom teeth are hurting, which is a little bit unique because most people get their wisdom teeth pulled. But I told you, I said, hey, I actually didn't have to get mine pulled either. Interestingly enough, yours starts hurting you Friday. You said it was absolute hell through the weekend. You couldn't get into the dentist or whoever it may be that you're seeing until Thursday or something. So he's struggling. So we got to help him out. But I don't know if you want to share a few words just now to get it out.
I got you guys $500. That's all. That's my contribution for the next week.
He did. He doesn't care. He's like, look, I bet against the teams that hadn't played in 2 years, and Preston didn't agree with it. Cash it. Man, that was bad. UConn and New Mexico State combined for 3 points.
Yeah, Tom was on it the whole weekend. He was like DMing me, texting me.
Yeah, he's so likely to be the guy that gets the 500, so now there's 700 in the prize pool for August. Tom Davis atop the leaderboard. I'm not sure if we have an updated leaderboard. Did he play something Friday?
I believe he did.
It doesn't really matter if he won or lost. He's still up 9 or 10 units, but maybe it's 11 now.
I haven't updated.
But none of the parlays said, I know that, so no one jumped him into first place. But yeah, $700 for August. By the way, today, in its own time slot, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. We already had people calling in before this show even started. Who wants to be a betting extraordinaire? Call in 661-515-BETS at 2 Pacific. Answer a trivia question about baseball, and then your shot at $25,000. We're going to start running this daily. It'll be a contest. Pick a winner, essentially, every day. Call back the next day until you lose. If you can get 7 straight days, you win $25K. So that starts as its official show. We've run a few kind of test runs here via Last Word Cheetah, but betting extraordinaire, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific later today. Last thing, I know there's a lot of people that think Tom Davis is just going to take down the August prize pool, which is probably true. You're not going to call in because you're like, what's the point? A few will probably call in and try a few parlays. But I want to know, starting today, look, we just had the week 0 games. Everyone's dipping their toes a little bit. Look, week 1, college football this week kicks off Thursday. Tell me what your favorite college football bet is on the board for week 1. You can call in today and tomorrow, even though it's still the end of August. The game won't play until September anyway, so we'll count it towards your September record. Consider it like your slate is wiped clean, so the next couple of days you can call in, whether it be Thursday games or even for Saturday over the weekend. Look, you got 5 days. You can pick 5 college football games if you want calling in. Forget the baseball. Although I will say, congrats to really everybody that was picking games, and a lot of it was baseball, through most of August before you guys started trying to play catch up to Tom. Many of you were ahead, plus I think at one point it was like a 32-12 start for you guys in the month. It was ridiculous. So well done there. Last thing too, I will kind of break it down. I tweeted it earlier. A college football, I want to try to get like a weekly schedule going so people can, they're going to ask me. I already know Friday evening. They're accustomed to me over the last 5 or 6 years posting the side that I like. If I had to pick a side in every single college football game for Saturday, most of those I wouldn't even be betting, but I'm at least just telling you like, hey, this is the direction my numbers or my projections lean. They normally do pretty well if you actually were betting them blindly. I never even do myself, but there's people actually that do. And then I always do my money line underdog round robin, which we've been lucky enough in the past that's hit a few times. So one last year, I know that paid pretty well. I'm going to do those on the show. That's going to be a big portion of what we do every Friday for Last Word Cheetah. So Monday, That's today. Market discrepancies versus my projections for sides. So I'll go through some of the week 1 sides I think are worthwhile betting. Tuesday, I'm going to have like a special rotating guest. I'm not even sure who tomorrow will be yet. I'll ask a few people. We'll have one on. Wednesday, we'll do the same thing, looking at my market discrepancies versus my numbers. And for totals, most weeks' totals won't be out. Now, week 1's been sitting on the board for a few weeks now, but usually they'll pop up by Wednesday and we can look them over. Thursday, we're going to do a tail end segment with our friend Pikachu. I don't even know if Qwan knew that, but the real Pikachu will be calling in Thursday. He wants to break down the lowest total on the board. So like the total lined at 45, the total lined at 77, and then the game that's like the biggest spread, whoever's laying 35.5, right? Like Tennessee versus Bowling Green, I believe, is up to 35.5 now. And in kind of attacking those tail end weird extremes that I think most bettors that aren't professionals are staying away from. They're not really interested in them. And now there can potentially be value in how you go ahead and approach betting those types of games. A lot of them are blowouts, for example, in a Bowling Green Tennessee game. So how are you actually adjusting for how the second halves will play out, or fourth quarters at least, if it's a blowout, whatever maybe. He wants to do a segment every Thursday addressing those types of games. And then Friday, again, Moneyline, underdog, round robin, and we'll pick a side in every game. So it's going to be all super college football filled. We're going to have NFL starting up too. We'll have a similar type of schedule breaking down NFL and certain segments we hit Monday through Friday. But I think we're good. We'll open up the lines.
That's a lot. I like it.
It's a lot easier than during the summer when there's just baseball.
Nothing. Yeah.
And I guess we had a little summer league, it's some Olympics, but it's football time. And man, we're giving away. I want someone to actually win $25,000 for betting extraordinaire.
I think Andre's on the line. I think he should give us a parlay that's going to win.
You think he has a parlay?
No, I don't think he's going to do a parlay, but I think you got to talk him into it. We got to get some pressure on Tom, at least for tomorrow.
He's got 2 more days through August, or else he pockets the 700. Andre's on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring him through. We'll take this call, and then we'll hit our first break right after that. Andre, welcome to the show. How was your weekend, man?
Weekend went well. I'm going into a new week with confidence, and based on what Qwan said, this will be a parlay.
Beautiful.
It's going to be a parlay because we got some U.S. Open action. All right, we got some U.S. Open action. I'm liking Nick Kyrgios plus 3.0. Nick Kyrgios. I'm sorry, I'm not. I just learned how to pronounce Giannis's name, so I can't do another Greek name. So Giannis. I got Antetokounmpos, but this Nick Kyrgios, Greek people. All right, plus 3.0. That's my first play.
Are you doing plus 3 games, or are you giving me the decimal price plus 3?
I'm not sure how this tennis works. It just says plus 3.0. I don't know why. I just know I'm favoring him to win. I don't know if he wins by 3 games, and I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's plus 3 games. I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes people say plus 3.0 and the decimal odds, that's the equivalent of 2 to 1. But I just want to make sure you're betting on him to cover 3 games.
Forget the point. Yeah, 3 games. I'm good with that. Okay, we got Francis Tiafoe, who I remember. I'm favoring him. He's minus 5.5. You can lock me in for that as well. Okay. Carlton's getting animated about this parlay as well.
That's a good sign.
Other people. Yeah, so those other matches are not tonight. And of course, as soon as I go on, that's when Carlton wants to act a fool. All right. So the final, I'm going to take Alex Malkin minus 5 to complete
minus
3.
5. Okay.
Minus 5. So that's going to be the parlay to get us going on Monday. I'm a little bit Tom, I need to get in striking distance. And
this might help. You'll at least get back within 6 or 7 if you can hit this. It's over 6 to 1 payout.
Okay, all right. So this is going to, and then my U.S. Open betting is going to, my U.S. Open plays are going to continue in the future because that's where I feel a lot more confident. Thanks for taking the call as always. Talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take it easy, Andre. We're going to take our first break. Qwan, if there's people on hold, tell them 2 minutes. We'll be back 661-515-BETS. This is Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. Talk to you all soon. Welcome back to Last Word Cheetah. We have 3 callers at least already on the line. I believe Qwan said Ty is up first, so you can go ahead and patch him through. We'll just get right to it. Take your calls for the next 15 minutes or so, and then we'll hit on a bunch of college football after that. Ty, what's up, man? How was your weekend?
Not bad, dude. Went to a wedding. Couldn't watch the game Saturday, but did well in college football. So
Nice.
Was happy to see that and looking forward to the round robins.
You need to go to more weddings on Saturdays and just watch from your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Seriously,
Seemed to
I'm
work.
going to the U.S. Open tomorrow, so looking forward to watching and betting some of that tennis.
Right on. What do you have for us today?
Well, first, can I tell, in all good fun, to Andre from Massachusetts, great caller, but the name of that guy that he couldn't pronounce is Nick Kyrgios. So, Andre, if you're listening, it's Kyrgios, but respect the tennis players, dude.
It's interesting. Real quick, I thought, should I try to correct him? I'm not a tennis guy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to botch it myself and compound it. So it's good. Ty calls right in. He corrects it for us, and all is well. So it worked out.
People helping people.
Yeah. All right. You going to go U.S. Open?
No shot this. Yeah, I am, and I got no shot this month, so I'm going to put in some like crazy tennis parlay.
We looked during the break, just to give you a heads up. You're up about 1 unit, so you're maybe 15 to 16 behind Tom. You can kind of you got 2 days, so you can kind of go from there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair. So I'm going to go. Let's see. I'm going to go with a parlay with there's a female player whose last name is Lynette, and she's playing Coco Gauff today, and she's as high as I got plus 275. I don't know if you can see lines across the board with Don Best or what's going on, but I had plus 275 on her.
Cool. What else?
I'll take the Tampa Bay Rays minus 140.
Coco, what was her name?
Well, so the person that I'm going with is Lynette, Line.
I know. I can give you plus 283. I'll give you plus 283.
Okay,
I pulled it up on the board. I didn't know there. I don't know. These all sound like fake names to me. I don't know what's going on. Is this like a virtual tournament, like with Tennis Wii?
Right.
All right. Rays minus 140. I can give you that.
Yep. And then the other tennis play, the last name is Pironkova, Pironkova.
Yep. Oh, geez, that's a big dog.
I'm taking her.
It's plus 308.
Yep. And then the last piece to this, he'll be a crazy favorite, but I'm taking Medvedev to win his match because he's going to win the whole U.S. Open for anybody that's listening.
Ooh, what's his price to win it all?
His price to win it all pre-tournament was 5-1, which isn't great. But he's I've been betting on him since we were at the tournament a couple years ago when our cameras. I'm going to be working the event, and our cameras caught him giving the finger to the crowd. So ever since he did that, I've been a fan actually of him.
Hopefully he didn't get you guys in trouble and it was good publicity. Real quick, what's his price that you have for him?
It's going to be like minus 2,900. I'm just throwing him in because I like him.
Okay. I realized that there's a reason it wasn't coming up. And I can give you, oh, geez, I can't even give you that. I can give you 2,600 actually. There you go. Okay. There was one spot that had minus 2,600, but some others were minus 4,000. Payout 27 to 1.
24 to 1 or something?
Better. Plus 2682. Almost 27 to 1.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it. Enjoy the tennis and all the sports going on at once right now.
I'm going to have to follow tennis now because we have a bunch of action on tennis. We appreciate it, Ty. Take it easy. Good luck.
All right. Have a good one. Later.
The bad boy of tennis. He said, Ty said he flipped that
the middle finger. Yeah.
He became a fan.
My favorite player now.
Yeah.
That's all it took. Was Patrick next? Cool. Patch him through. What's up, Patrick? How was your weekend?
Hey, Preston. How's it going? Hey, I went to my 25-year high school reunion this weekend, which was a surreal experience.
Okay.
Absolutely
Hold on. Let's do a little bit of math. So you graduated high school in 1996?
I did, yes.
Okay. You're not that much older than me. like about a decade. That's not bad.
Okay, well that
I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse about your life.
Like it made him feel better.
But like most people are like, oh, you're still pretty young. So I was like, oh, hey, he's a decade older.
Anyway, what was
well, you just say you're not that much older.
Yeah.
So you
there has to be a story
that,
though.
So.
Yeah, there has to be a story. That's a good point. Anything interesting stem from this reunion?
No, just a bunch of people got fatter. That's basically what it was.
I can relate to that.
And balder. So.
Is anyone from your high school like famous or anything? Rich?
No. The one thing from my high school though, sometimes you see like high schools with like the 10 most offensive mascots or whatever. We are always one of those schools. I went to a school called Freeburg, and our mascot was the midgets, and they resisted all change to that. So
wait, they haven't changed it?
No, they haven't. I mean, that's probably about 5 times in the last 20 years that there's been petitions, but they just refuse to change it.
They refuse. Hold on. There's Qwan's trying not to laugh because of his wisdom teeth. He can't help it. He said there's no way this is true. Who had
look it up, the Freeburg midgets.
He's Googling it right now. Who had the bright idea to go like, hey, we could be any mascot in the world, and they just were like, I got it. The midgets. He's looking it up. What state are you from?
True or not. I'm from Illinois. Right across the river from St. Louis.
Illinois. There you go.
Freeburg Community High School Midgets Apparel Store.
Yeah.
You can get midgets apparel, Qwan. Fire it up. Get the PayPal.
I need a midget shirt.
Well, apparently the story was they had a basketball team to go to state in the 1940s or 50s, and everybody was like super tiny, so everybody called them the midgets, and they just adopted that name.
So it's historical. It has provenance. I see. That's why they can't change it.
Kind of, I guess.
I know. Yeah. It's kind of an excuse, but hey, there you go. Get your midgets gear. Well, I like that blue though. The blue is pretty slick.
No, it's a hot logo.
The entire time I thought he said free bird.
I did.
Bird, like the flying, not free bird.
That would be even better.
Yeah, I thought it was free bird.
Like we can play free bird. That would be a great walkout song. Everything.
Yeah, it would. All right, let's get to your pick for either later this week, whatever it may be.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to try to catch up here. I got to do what I can. Still got a couple days left. So I'm going to parlay a couple games in baseball. I'm going to go with Bob's guy, Chris Flexen, on first 5 against the Astros.
Money line?
Parlay that. Yes, the money line.
Okay, plus 143.
Yeah, and then the over in the Red Sox-Rays game.
Full game, right?
Correct.
All right, I can give you 8.5 at minus 118 or 9 at plus 100.
Give me 9.
Okay.
And then the run line in the Blue Jays game. That should get me close.
Yeah, you'll be a couple units back most likely because this Blue Jays is still like minus 160. But
that's moved a little bit.
You have the plus 143 in there. Nearly 7-1. Plus 690. Plus 690.
All right, well, we'll roll the dice on this one, see how it goes.
That sounds good, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good luck.
All right, see ya.
All right, Carlos, you've been on hold for about 10 minutes. We appreciate your patience. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. Any midget stories for us?
No midget stories. Not
That's
at
good.
all. How you guys doing? How was your weekend?
We're good. I had a good weekend, man. It was good. Qwan did not. He was hurting. He was in pain, but he's surviving. He's getting through it.
A lot of Jello there, Qwan. A lot of soup.
Soup and Jello.
You'll be all right.
Thanks, Carlos.
No problem, buddy.
Appreciate it.
What do you got for us today?
No problem. Parlays are not my thing, honestly. But we're going to go ahead and do one anyway. How about that?
You got to do what you got to do.
I know you can't hear me, but I burst out laughing.
Parlays are not my thing. That's going to go on Carlos's grave. Parlays are not my thing. 19. I don't know how old you are. Did you go to your 25th high school reunion recently? You're probably a similar age as Patrick. At least that's what it sounds like. All right. Hit us with it. I got the board up.
All right. We got Cincinnati team total over. I don't even know what it is. That's pretty bad, right? But
it's
I like it.
5.5 plus money. You want to take a shot on that, or do you want to just go over 9 for the whole game?
No, I want the team total. Team total with Toronto's team total over 5.5.
Hold on 1 second. I can give you plus 115 on that Cincinnati one.
On Toronto?
Okay. All right.
Cincinnati? Okay.
Excuse me. You wanted Cincinnati, right?
Team total over, yes.
Yeah, and then you want Toronto team total over as well?
Correct.
Got it. That's minus 120. Okay, next.
And then we're going to take Tampa Bay's team total over 4.5.
Yes, I can give you plus money on that as well.
And then we're going to take the Twins.
Just to win the game?
To win the game. Win the game, money line. What am I looking at?
Well, they're up 1 in the 9th. So, nice try. But you're likely to win that one. It's 3-2 in the 9th right
wait.
now. It was the lone early start today. Was Twins White Sox?
It was.
Or excuse me,
Tigers. Looking at the scoreboard. Well, let's scratch that, and then let's take Boston Tampa Bay over 8.5.
You can't do that. You already did Tampa Bay team total over.
Oh,
they're correlated.
Correct. They are correlated. New York Yankees over. New York and LA over 8.5. How about that?
I can give you 9.
9. I'll take it.
Okay. We'll lock you in for that. Minus 101. 15 to 1, Qwan. Plus 1509. Just over 15 to 1.
Beautiful.
All right, Carlos. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
We had anyone else that called in the meantime? Yeah, bring them in. We'll patch at least one more caller through, and then we got to take one more break. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today? We got you. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
How's it going, man?
Hey, we are doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How was your weekend?
It was good. Qwan, do you have an idea of where Saurabh is at as far as his plus or minus? Is he in the negative on the month?
I think he's about at 1. Hasn't called in a while.
I think he called in Thursday or Friday. But give me your most recent total or tally.
2.
Plus 2?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. Okay. So, Saurabh, you're about minus 2 for the month. You're going to need to make up 17 or so, 18 or so units the next 2 days. So if you want to take a shot, go for it.
I got the play. I'll take the Cardinals.
Money line plus 187. Okay.
And parlay that with the Braves.
That is also plus 190, similar range. Okay.
And parlay that with the Mariners, please.
All right, plus 149. That should be close. Yep, plus 1972, nearly 20 to 1. 3 money line dogs. Weirder things have happened. We're still rooting for you guys. I think he's actually going to be minus 3 units now because we haven't tallied the loss from. He did call in Friday and fired a parlay. So this will get you around plus 17 overall in the month, which is right around where Tom's at. So we need one of these to hit, and we'll have some something to sweat tomorrow. Good luck, Saurabh. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Preston. Take care.
You too. Tom Davis is just too good. He's just sitting home right now, waiting back. He's like, all right, let's see what all these guys bet. Tom doesn't even have to do anything.
You just spoke him up. Him and we got a ghost. The ghost of Tone just called back in.
Oh,
I think we should hold those two for after.
We do. We have to take a break.
We
here
got
in a few
Bob,
seconds.
though.
We'll take all of them after the break. It's fine. Tone will probably hang up now because he's got to wait 2 minutes. But who was actually first?
Bob.
Okay, so we'll hit Bob after the break, then Tone, then Tom.
There we go.
All right, we'll do that. We'll be back in 2 minutes. This is Last Word Cheetah. 661-515-BETS is the line. 2 more days for you guys to try to pass up Tom, who has just crushed it all month of August. All right, let's get back to the phone calls. Welcome back to the show. We have Bob, who's been waiting patiently, and then we'll hit Tone and Tom right after that. Bob, welcome back. How was your weekend, man?
Oh, it was good. Getting ready for school, but yep, ready to rock and roll. So
glad to hear.
Hey, and I want to thank Patrick for the shout out for the Mariners. Woohoo!
Yep.
Which leads me to my first leg of the parlay. I want to get the over for Flexen on 3.5 strikeouts.
Okay. Do you have juice in front of you for that?
It says -125 on that.
All right, I trust you. I'm not going to look it up. We'll lock you in for that. What's next?
And then I wanted to get the Mariners first 5, and that's at +135. At least last I checked. I don't know if you
Matt Gruller, if you're in the building.
I can give you better. I got +141.
Okay. And then I wanted to get the Rays -1.5, so run line over the Red Sox.
All righty, let me go ahead. Rays, run line. Whoops, I'm at first half. I got to go to full game. -142 for the money line. I can give you +145 for the run line.
Yeah, and then I got one more leg, and this is the doozy, baby.
Ooh.
I want the Blue Jays on alternate run line -2.5 over the lowly Baltimore Orioles.
Is that about even money?
Oh, let's see. I got to double check it. So hadn't looked at it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have alternate run lines on my screen.
Okay, just like Baltimore right here. I'm getting it. Run line alternative. Oh yeah, they didn't have a minus. I have to go -3.5, and it's +135.
Oh baby! All right, you still want it?
Yeah, we're going big. We're going
okay.
big, or we're going home.
This is over 24-1 +2418. This will put you there because I think you're up about 2.5 units anyways going in to the final 2 days. So this will put you in the sweet spot. Good luck. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Swinging large. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Tone, welcome back to the show. I need to tell you a little bit of a story. I was going to say it during the break. I decided to save it. So no joke. You don't need to think that I think about you very often, but I was sitting there making dinner yesterday at home, enjoying my weekend, and the thought crossed my mind. I was like, man, I haven't heard from Tone for a while. I hope he's okay. And then sure enough, we didn't send out the police yet, but you called in today. So I'm glad you're alive and well, sir.
What's good, Preston? I'm doing well. How are you? I'm glad you were thinking about me.
Always. You're actually still slightly plus,
busy,
by the way.
What is it?
You're still slightly ahead. You're like +1 unit on the month. So, yeah.
How's Tom doing? It's good.
He doesn't
to hear
lose.
Bob's an absolute legend. I just want to let that be known. Bob is a legend, a legendary father, a legendary figure, a legendary unit.
And teacher. He's going back to teach school. He's going to be culling from his math class every day.
Big time. I could see that man being an educator. If I ever heard an educator, it's that man.
I think it's mathematics too, believe it or not.
I wouldn't have said that, but I could see him being an educator.
Continue. Are you taking a shot on a parlay to try to break this month, or are you going to look at football for next month?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I was going a little bit, I was out there, busy eating Qwan's mom's puss.
Why did you say that?
That was
now we're back. Nah, Qwan just always throws me in, like dead last on the phone ringer.
You're actually you have someone after you.
He doesn't like me. No, I'm kidding. I was out the country, but now we're back. I had to give a ring in. I got a parlay. Who's in first?
Tom Davis, the guy that doesn't lose. He's like +17 units.
The old man.
Yeah.
Jeez, the old man. What a sharp. All right, let me get Nationals money line, Red Sox money line, Brewers money line, Astros money line, Braves money line. That's a winner.
Hold on, before you hang up, I got the first two.
Yeah.
You said Braves as well, right?
Yep, and then Brewers and Astros.
Brewers and Astros. Okay.
Yep.
Astros are a favorite. I can give you the -155 there. And Brewers last one. This is going to pay way more than you even need it to pay. You should probably ditch one of these.
Sometimes you need some cushioning, you know. I'm not scared to be great. That's someone I would do that's scared to be.
Okay. I mean, it pays 45 to 1. You don't need. You could take.
Then I got some room on my ass after it hits.
You could take out the.
Sorry for the curse word. Wait,
take out the Astros. You still got plenty of room.
No, those Mariners suck. Sorry, Bob, I love you, but they suck.
Right.
No, we want the Astros. The Astros just got their teeth kicked in last night. I know it's not good to look at it like that, but that's how we're doing it.
All right, 45 to 1. Tone said W. Lock it up. Round robin.
Yeah, that's an easy W.
Agree.
Mean, it might be 6 losers, but I'm alive. Make sure you tell your family I'm doing well.
I will. I'll let them know. They were very, very.
I'll tell my mom you said.
See you later. Talk to you tomorrow, hopefully.
Tell her to clean it up. All right.
Jesus Christ. That guy is a lot.
It's so bad, man. It's so bad. All right. Tom, you've been waiting patiently. The man, the myth, the legend. I think you're over 17 units up on the month. You haven't lost in a while. Congratulations on the run, as usual. 2 more days. What are you locking in for today?
What's just the total on Baltimore-Toronto full game?
9 or 9.5, depending on the book.
Let me go. I'm going to go over the 9.
Okay.
And what do you see on the Dodgers and Atlanta total?
Wait, hold on. Why are you making a parlay, Tom? You're way ahead already.
Everybody's chasing me trying to hit one, and I'm going to show them how to hit it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. What's the second one? Dodgers, Atlanta?
Over the 8.5 in Atlanta and the Dodgers.
Okay. Wow. Talking crap. All right. Plus 248.
No, Juan told me I had to go for it.
I mean, you're so far ahead, it's probably not going to matter. But I would hate for you to somehow now go 1 and 2 here and then lose the whole month by, 0.3x or something.
Do something.
He cut out.
I think. What happened there?
Is he still there? Tom, are you there? All right, he's cutting out. You can drop him. Tom, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good luck. We locked you in for the 2-teamer plus 248.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, just drop the call. It's all good. Tom, we love you. No one else, right?
Nope.
Okay. Whew. Got through a lot of calls there. I decided during the last break for September, for 2 reasons, we're going to go no more parlays. One being, about 2 weeks left, everyone starts trying parlays to play catch up, and it kind of gets a little bit old. But then it doesn't give us any time to actually talk through like one game that they might actually like.
Yeah.
Plus, now that it is football season, it's a lot easier to talk through one game. You can pick Monday a game that's on Saturday of the same month, right? Tuesday you can pick another game that's on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I think people will have more conviction on single games when we can look ahead to the weekend with football starting. So for September's contest, we're not going to do any more parlays, which will also make it harder for someone to really escape from the pack. So the first few weeks, it should be a pretty good race. But that's how we're going to do it for September. I made the decision without asking anybody because it's my show. I can make that decision anyways. Juan doesn't care.
No.
But fewer parlays will be good. Yeah, we'll end it there. All right. Should we talk a little college? By the way, I've had a lot of people. Okay, what does a lot mean? Probably like 10 to 15 people over the last couple of weeks that are like, hey, do you like any college football futures this year? Have you put out your college football guide? And like literally every day for 8 weeks for an hour, I streamed a show on my Twitter feed, plus YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever else we are, and talked through every team of every conference just about. So we have the kind of summary graphic. I told Qwan to just put them all on one graphic for you. This is what we went through and took over the course of the summer. Some of the stuff still is around and available. Some of it is not. You can at least take a screen snap of this. I can also share it if people that then ask in the future, like, hey, what do you like? Because all week people are going to keep asking now that the real season is starting. Look, this is what we took. If there's no juice, it's because it was right about minus 110. And there's a few that have like double options, right? Like when we did NC State, it was like minus 150 on a 6 or plus 105 on a 6.5. Vanderbilt was another one. You could get the over 3.5 plus money or over 3 minus 140. Virginia under was a similar type of setup. Anyways, just wanted to clarify why there's a couple different prices there on those. But that's our summer. Needed to have them somewhere so I can relay. Go ahead.
They're all up on YouTube. Sportscheetah's football guide playlist.
There you go. I know we had uploaded them
Yeah.
at some point recently, and Qwan basically made an edit of every segment of every day. You can 10 to 15 minutes on 3 teams at a time. You can go through. You can kind of get my rundown. But this is what it was. I don't think there's anything missing. Someone else actually put this together for me, and he asked, like, hey, is this missing anything? And I don't think it is there. I think we maybe talked about Oklahoma. No, that's there in the middle. Yeah, there you go. So that's for everyone.
Easy, simplified. People want layups.
There isn't anything I really dislike. Sometimes there will be, for example, something that 7-8 weeks later, like for example, Georgia week 1, their safety was hurt, their tight end was hurt, a receiver was hurt. I believe the safety and tight end were both cleared this morning. So, granted, that line I think is 3 now across the board. But when we were going over it initially, I did like Georgia plus 4.5, and I started considering that I might not like it so much. But if they're healthy enough to go, then
you have
we'll be in good shape.
Bama, Miami, week 1.
Well, I had said, because those are like the 2 marquee games this weekend, and so I said my number was like 16.5, and the market was 18, I think, at the time. So I leaned the Miami way, but it's not one that I would officially bet. I haven't bet it myself or recommended betting it. Different story on the total. I know we talked about the other day when we were breaking it through on the under. I think maybe it was with Colin, which, by the way, we did a season win totals draft last week. You can pull that up and watch that. We break it down in 1 segment. You can also listen to everything on audio, Apple and Spotify. So just do a little bit of work. You can find the bets. They've been up there for 9 weeks now. But week 1, I'm not sure if you made a graphic for this because I told him too late. I decided with an hour left, like, hey, every Monday I'm going to look at the board, the market for that week's college football games, look at the sides, comparing to mine, and then every Wednesday we'll do totals. So let me pull them up. These are the sides that I think are at least worth looking at to some extent. We will start. I'll just go in order of rotation, people that are following along. And some of these maybe have started moving a little bit since this morning. I put them together. I have this list, but for the most part, they're all still in range. First is 142, NC State minus 18. No surprise, we're bullish on NC State anyways with the win total, and they are laying. Now, but by the way, this was like 16.5, 17 for a really long time. It's moved up. I still think it should be closer to 21. I love Leary. The games that he played last year when he was under center before his injury, the NC State Wolfpack offense was averaging like 35 a game, and now they're playing a South Florida defense that is nearly nothing. By the way, might have something Wednesday in this game. Not hard to figure out if I like NC State minus 18, but I think it's a little short. I think it's worthwhile to buy on them right away early before the market at least adjusts to some degree. It already has adjusted some through the 17 and a half. I should pull up the board so I get all these rotation numbers correctly laid out there. Next is Maryland, 172 to his brother. If you remember, he had a couple games last year where he kind of broke out, maybe against the West Virginia team. Ooh, wow, this is actually moved this morning. Okay. Well, if you can still find threes, there's a few left. There was also 3.5s earlier, minus 115, 120. Those are still good. Maryland at 2.5 is a pass now, so it's all right. Some of these, maybe they get back into range later in the week. Just keep an eye on them. I'm going to relay my discrepancies either way. Next up would be 188 Texas. Surprise, surprise. This is one that lines up with the season win total and honestly just the perception of not only ULL, where everyone's going to remember, hey, remember when they beat Iowa State last year in the opener? And I think Lafayette scored twice on defense or special teams, and it was kind of a funky game. But I'm going to buy Texas this year because no one else is. I've spoken it already with the over 7.5 that we took 7 or 8 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure we did the Big 12 second. Maybe it was third week that we broke stuff down. But everyone hyping up Tom Herman in year 2, year 3, year 4, and every year we go under their season win total. This is the year when everyone is saying, expect a rebuilding season or two for Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns. That's when we buy over 7.5 wins. They're only down to 8 now after opening 12, which is where my number is. They've been bet down. I think -8 is a good buy. 8.5s are fine as well. I know there's some that are in that range. It's just I think similar to NC State, I'm going to take my position on a team that I'm bullish on relative to the market, whether it be season win total or the side itself. Next one up, 195. And I believe this may be one that is cut off. Nope, there's still 13.5s. Safe there. I would not bet -14 on Baylor. They're going into Texas State. I expect somewhat of a bounce back within reason for the Baylor Bears as a whole. And Texas State is a team that they can go in on the road and take care of business. Pass on a 14, but I like 13.5 for Baylor. 203 is my next one. Florida Atlantic. This is interesting. I've talked a little bit about, that actually moved. Just pulling it up now. That was 24.5 this morning. It's down to 23.5. Would not play it anymore. So my projection is 23.2. But I feel like I've been as cautious as possible on downgrading Florida after losing Trask and Pitts and everyone else from that offense. I think there's definitely a big room for the Gators in my personal projections to go lower, and there really isn't much room for them to actually overachieve. So I was willing to, even though my number is 23.2 and it was 24.5, I wanted to take a shot anyway, and FAU's defense is sound enough that I think just as a whole, it's going to be tough for Florida to get more than 31 to 34 points. And if that's the case, can FAU get to 10? Probably. So I think it's a worthwhile dog if you can get the 24, 24.5. It's basically gone, though. So this is another one you'll have to just follow throughout the week. If it pops back up into range there, you'll be able to snag it. So keep an eye on it. But that one moved pretty significantly today. 214. This one isn't a surprise. We've talked about UCLA. We like them a lot. 4s and 3.5s. Now it locked over the weekend, most spots because UCLA just crushed Hawaii. I believe at one point, was it 44-3? And then mid-third quarter, Hawaii finally scored a touchdown. It was 44-10. And they didn't score for the next 22 minutes of the game either side. I believe that was the final. People that had the over were sitting perfectly in that middle of the third. I believe UCLA scored 24 themselves before the first quarter ended. Anyway, they already played that game. They're at home here in Los Angeles. I wouldn't bet it at +3, but get the 3.5s, or if you can still find a 4 as well before that gets to 3. I think that's the direction it's headed. And I believe there's 2 more. Nope, we got 3 more. Although one of them, we'll see if it's still around. Next, 218, Cal. I like at the 3s at -120 or better. There's plenty of -110s that are out there, but there are some -3.5s that are +100. So kind of divvy it up. I'd prefer -3.5 +100. If you can't get a -3 at -120 or better, that's just a difference in pricing slightly, but a similar bet. I think it should be closer to 6.5. And again, Cal, a team we bought over 6 wins, just kind of playing into it from the get-go and trying to capitalize on hopefully being right about their trajectory this season. Now we got 2 more. Next, 222. This one I was surprised. Washington State -16, 16.5. Wouldn't play it at 17, but Utah State's pretty much a mess, and I know that the Tennessee transfer quarterback might take over the quarterback at Washington State who crushed as a freshman last year, came over from Hawaii. I'm not necessarily buying it. Regardless, I think it should be like a 20-point spread. Under a 17, I think it's a worthwhile bet on Washington State. And the last one, all the way down the board, the Monday, September 6th game, Louisville got smashed, but 9.5 and 10. I would bet 10 still smaller than if you can get the 9.5. But I know some places actually have gone up to 10.5. So if you can get a 9.5, even better. But I still like 10 smaller. They play Louisville. And again, Ole Miss, a team, Matt Corral, have that 50-1 Heisman ticket. We talked about that plenty, about 9 weeks ago when we started this whole thing with the SEC. But I think the Rebels just handed it to them from the get-go. And I think the whole Louisville Saturday vibe is very weird. And I've heard from two people specifically in media, just general media, not betting related, that just said something's going on there, and it's just weird. So my number is like 13.5 or 13.6. Loved it under 10. I still like 10 to some degree, and there might even be another kind of level of upside to just betting against this weird Louisville team that might just be in disarray from the get-go. So, that wraps up, I believe, a total of 9 sides for this week, where I show some discrepancy between the market and my projections. 2 are pretty much you're going to have to wait and get later in the week at this point, Maryland and FAU. So just keep an eye on it. But I'll always relay anything that I showed, because every Sunday we'll have numbers going up. I'll look them over Monday mornings. Then when we do the show, we'll kind of talk them through. And Wednesday we'll do some totals. So there's that. Qwan, I'm going to put you on the spot for a few minutes before we wrap up the show. Is there any calls, by the way, during that mix? Just wanted to make sure. We have 5 more minutes. We can take a couple more calls. 661-515-BETS. Is there anything that I went over, or any of the games that I went over? I'm not sure how much you were listening, but is there anything that you like, maybe the UCLA LSU game, Texas, my whole vibe on Texas against ULL, anything that stood out to you that you either agree, disagree with? Any thoughts there?
I was watching the UCLA Hawaii game before I kind of passed out.
Yes.
That, man, like I want to big up what you were saying. You were worried about the defense and what Chip Kelly was going to do. Like, they were causing turnovers, and I know it's Hawaii, but
yeah,
it's something where you got to play who you play. And
in mid-second quarter, Hawaii had like minus 10 yards.
Yeah.
With 7 minutes, and they finally converted like a 16-yard pass, and they went positive. It was like over 20 minutes into the game. It was
like
ridiculous.
They were making plays. I saw, a lot of pressure, a lot of turnovers. So that's something. I don't know what LSU was bringing this year, but I think they look good enough to compete, and that's really out of week 1, week 0. That's what you want to see, is that your team is going out there and competing and playing at a high level. So I'm interested in that game a lot.
One thing that, if I'm really diving into I never want to react to a one-game sample anyways. It reminded me of Trevor Lawrence, his last year at Clemson in the, it was against LSU actually, in the national championship game. Do you know how many times he overthrew a receiver in the national title game? He overthrew him or threw it high.
Probably 5 times.
It was 13.
13. Wow.
13 in one game. Like, he had the yips. He was throwing everything high. I know everyone was talking about, like, LSU. I still, to this day, think Clemson was a better team, but you got to give LSU and Joe Burrow credit. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he had, at least in that first half, 4 or 5 of those himself, where it just looked like it just was sailing like on a line drive, nowhere near his guys. Little like tight end crosses into the sides of the end zone. All on. He missed throws that jitters first game. I don't know. It's Hawaii. Like, figure it out. Then they just really, the run game was so effective they didn't have to throw very often. You're going to have to throw more against LSU. Hopefully he can fix that up a little bit. But it reminded me of that Trevor Lawrence game for some reason. The way that his balls were just so high and long every time and overthrowing. We have one more call. Cool. Go ahead and patch them through. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. Who are we speaking with?
No.
How's it going? You're on the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Actually, my first time watching live because I'm in Louisiana right now.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much all working from home right now, so it's pretty cool being on the show and all that.
Right on. We appreciate you calling in.
For sure. I just want to see what y'all think about the Kent State plus 29.5 against Texas A&M. Seems like a ton of points with an offense that good.
It's interesting. You can get as high as 29. Yep, you're right, 29, a few 28.5s. I can give you my number in just a second. A good friend of mine, it's interesting. You say good friend. Everyone says, oh, my good friend, so-and-so. I've actually never met him, but at this point in my life, most of my friends aren't even in real life. Someone I know, shout out Larry if you're actually listening. He's a big A&M fan. He bets college football. I consider him a friend just naturally. That's where my mind went, but I've actually never met the guy. He loves A&M. I believe he laid the points early. He's very bullish A&M. Look, most of us are. I have them as my 7th best rated team in the country. I have them, let's see, you got to do a little bit of math here. I mean, Kent State isn't great. Let me see. 28.54. How's that? So I think it's right on. It's like spot on where my number is. I couldn't do. I think he actually had it a little bit higher, so he laid it when it was under the key-ish number of 28. But part of me is, the Kent State offense, when it's a 34, 35-point game in the fourth quarter, they can get a garbage TD and backdoor for you. Maybe you're okay circling it, eyeing it as a second-half angle. Maybe you look at playing Kent State second half after A&M goes up 21-28 in the first half, and then you're getting even a better number adjusted at that point. But as a whole, in a vacuum, I think 28.5 is exactly spot on. So nothing for me there.
Definitely. Thank you. I didn't even think about that. Probably what I'll end up doing.
No problem. Might as well. Can't hurt. Worst case, if Kent State's up, themselves 14 at the end of the first quarter, you're just like, well, this is kind of crazy, and you watch a fun game. But we appreciate you calling in. We'll talk to you next time.
Definitely. Yep. See you, bro.
That's some commitment right there.
Just because Larry could still be listening, I need to pull up what is. Hold on. There's got to be a money line for this game, right? Does anybody have it? 30-1. 30-1 Kent State money line against A&M. Lock it up. Money line dog of the week. I'm just kidding. Unless Larry's listening, then I'm not. But yeah, that'll be interesting to want to follow live. Second half, maybe. Maybe that's the way to go. And also kind of feels like A&M might be the team that's getting hyped to be, finally, this is the year. Jimbo's been there getting things going. They got the stud, I forget his name, dual threat quarterback who's going to be taking over, high recruit. And they're supposed to at least hang with Alabama. Maybe they can do something in the SEC, and then they just totally kind of fall flat on their face week one out of the gate. And the offense struggles, and they win a game that's like 27-13 or something. That wouldn't surprise me, so I don't mind it now that I'm thinking it through a little more. We appreciate your time. Betting Extraordinaire is next. We got like 3 minutes, and we're going to go back live, separate link. Last for Cheetah, as usual, the rest of the week, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Thanks, everybody.